Hey cruise addicts, so welcome along to my review of Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady and how my cruise went. Trust me, there is a lot of good stuff coming up. This was one of my absolute favourite cruises for many reasons, which we will jump into shortly. Firstly though, please do consider subscribing to the channel to help me grow and bring you new content. And if you've enjoyed this, then please do give me a like. And if you have any questions or comments, then please do get involved, pop them below. So let's start off with a little bit of the bad and just a couple of small grumbles. Trust me, there is lots of good to come. So the booking process. Well, I wish I had not used this travel agent. And to put it bluntly, I will never be using them again. This will only affect anybody using this UK-based travel agent called Igloo Cruise. So this is what's happened. It didn't directly affect my onboard cruise experience, but it has caused a lot of stress in the lead up to and after the cruise. I was offered a 200% credit if I were to rebook my Virgin Lady cruise, which is what I did when I booked this Valiant Lady cruise, or the other option was to take 125% refund. Now in hindsight, had I known then what I know now, I would have probably taken the 125% and took my booking elsewhere. So my cruise was transferred across from Resilient Lady to Valiant Lady on June 5th. We are now over 5 months on and I am still awaiting my refund. I have had emails ignored, promised phone calls back, not received, and I feel like I'm hitting a brick wall. So it shouldn't take this much chasing and 2 Trustpilot reviews for them to actually pull their finger out and do something. So the latest is, as of November the 3rd, they are ready to refund me. And they have told me that as soon as the billings team have released the funds, it will be 6 working days. So at the time of recording, we are 10 days on from that date, and I'm still yet to receive an email to say that the funds have been released. So whenever that happens, we're still looking at 6 working days from there. I am thoroughly disappointed with the service that I've received from this company. As others have reported, when they have your money, the aftercare seems to be sadly lacking. And I'm also insulted with the fact that they think that a resolution to my 5-month delay is to offer me £150 credit to book a future cruise. No. Trust me, I will not be spending another penny with this company again. So we'll draw a line under that one and we'll move on to a few small grumbles and then we'll get into the good stuff. Now these are really not huge things, they're just slight grumbles. They didn't really take away from my cruise too much, but they did irk me a little bit. So, starting with the embarkation process. So, you get to the port, you join one queue to check your luggage in, where they then print off your luggage tag, put it on your case. You then join another queue to get to the building so that you can check in. You've then got to the end of that queue and then you go through security. You go through security and then you go to customer service. Now the last 3 bits are pretty standard. I just can't help think that they're making things a little bit more difficult for themselves, getting people to queue up to check in your luggage and then queue up to check into the building. It doesn't make sense to me and I don't quite get it. And then another little hiccup, once I'd gone through to check in and then got on board the ship, as I went to use my wristband to get on board, there was a problem. So they hadn't programmed my wristband correctly, so I had to have another one done again. It took probably 5 minutes to sort out, but I was so itching to get on board. I'm sure you know that feeling when you're so excited you just want to get on board. So just that little something that slows things down makes it really frustrating. On to my other grumble then, which is the Wi-Fi on board. Now, I think we all accept the fact that the Wi-Fi is never going to be as good as it is on land because it's a moving object and it uses satellites. However, what really surprised me to learn was that you cannot get premium Wi-Fi on Valiant Lady at the time of recording. You can only get the standard Wi-Fi, yet it is available on Scarlet Lady. So when I went down to Sailor Services, their version of guest services, to upgrade or find out how I upgrade to the premium Wi-Fi, I was told that the option isn't available. It is only available on Scarlet Lady because that is the only ship in their fleet that has the license to use the satellites. I get that Resilient Lady was delayed, hence my reason for rebooking on Valiant Lady, but if you've got two of your ships in the fleet with a third coming, why wouldn't you pre-arrange those licenses in advance? Just found that very odd. As a vlogger and a blogger on board trying to do anything or go live, it wasn't going to happen. So yeah, just a little bit frustrating. So let's dive right into the good stuff. And like I said, there is a lot of it. So firstly, the food. There are so many options. There are some upcharge items on all of the menus in the specialty restaurants, but if you don't want to, then obviously you don't have to. You can quite easily eat for a week on board with absolutely no charge, including the 6 specialty style restaurants on board, which we'll come to in a second. So you have the food court, which is called the galley, lots of different restaurants. You have a central menu and you can choose your items from all of them. Every single piece of food I had in here was absolutely great, whether that be from breakfast, lunch, or an evening meal at dinner time. Pretty good. I did have a slightly tepid burger from the burger bar at one point, but everything else was absolutely standout. Perfect. And then you've got the pizza place. You've got the Sun Club Cafe up on deck 16. There's also the dock house where you can dine indoors or outdoors. So yeah, all included in the cruise fare. So on to the specialty style restaurants then. So firstly, we've got Razzle Dazzle. Focused highly on vegetarian, but there are secret meat items available if you ask your waiter, and there is a small section featuring meat dishes on the menu as well. Really, really adventurous, really Instagrammable food. I really enjoyed it. Highly recommend this one. And then Pink Agave, Mexican restaurant. Virgin pride themselves on this being an authentic Mexican restaurant, and I have to agree, it was pretty special. Really nice, tasty food, well presented, and really well looked after by the waiter in there as well. On to Test Kitchen, another Instagrammable place. Very inventive. You are literally just given a menu with one ingredient on it. You have a vegetarian or a meat option menu. You choose that one ingredient and then they come back and produce a meal for you based on that one ingredient. Very, very experimental, laboratory style food. Very theatrical, very Instagrammable, lots of fun. Really recommend this place. Onto the Wake, high-end steak restaurant, beautiful restaurant, really nice ceiling with the gold balls everywhere, dramatic lights as you walk down the staircase from deck 7 to enter it on deck 6. Yeah, really, really, really special, and breathtaking views of the wake from there as well, hence the name. Extra Virgin, the Italian restaurant on board. Again, authentic Italian, not an Americanized or British version of Italian. Some really nice, tasty food in here. Again, looked after really well for the waiting staff. If I had one slight grumble, it would be that my order was taken before a couple arrived next to me and they received their food before me, and then I had a couple of items come out at the same time, which what I would normally expect them to check if you want that to happen before that does happen. And then lastly, Gumbay, the Korean barbecue restaurant on board. Wow, such a fun place to dine. Now, if you're looking for somewhere quiet for dinner, I probably would recommend you don't use this one because it gets very, very loud. Mainly due to the drinking games that you play throughout your meal. It is highly interactive. It is the only venue on board that you go in and you share a table with others. So as a solo cruiser, I dined on my own at the other restaurants, but at this place, you had to get involved and join another table. And I have to say I'm glad that I did. I met some really nice people that I had dinner with, and we had such fun. But again, if you're looking for a quiet meal, this probably isn't for you. Onto the entertainment then. So audience participation is highly encouraged in pretty much everything you do on board this ship. There are lots of different venues offering lots of different choice, not your usual traditional entertainment. So starting with the first venue then is the Red Room. This is a multi-purpose entertainment venue. You have three setups. One where the stage is movable all around the room and you move as the performance progresses. Untitled Dance Show Party Thing is a crazy, weird, eclectic mix and it kind of works. Then you also have the traditional theatre style seating where everybody sits facing the stage, and then for the likes of dual reality you have seating on either side of the theatre with the performance happening in the middle. Really, really great. As I say, non-traditional, there was an exception to that, so there was a comedy slash magician act on board. They were really good. That was the only traditional style where you sit down and watch the entertainment on the stage. Dual reality was just absolutely breathtaking. Such talented members of the cast in that. There were great singers and bands around the ship. There was a blues band, there was the house band, and there was a solo artist as well. All really, really great. Onto the room then. So really great, really spacious, really techy. You've got your handheld device which controls lots of different things, including the room temperature, the TV, the curtains. You open and close the curtains using the handheld device, and it's such a gimmick, but I absolutely loved it. And then the legendary hammock out on the balcony. Now I thought this was another gimmick, but oh my god, they are so comfortable to sit in. Beautiful. Really nice, really spacious, really clean room. Highly recommend. On to the nightclub. Oh my god, you will never have seen an entrance into a nightclub like this. It is bling bling lights all around you. Entertainment was absolutely spectacular. You go into the nightclub on the first night and there is a full-on stage managed choreographed dance show whilst the DJ is banging out the tunes. And on the last night in the club as well, there was a variety show which was called Studio 72, where there were hula hoops, jugglers, trapeze artists, and all that kind of stuff. Really, really good. Late at night, just before the DJ starts banging out the tunes. Yeah, that was a nightclub like any other I've been to, and I highly, highly recommend that if you're into having a nightclub night out. It's also used as a venue for the other entertainment as well. So, for example, the ship show was held here. The diva performed there, the hostess performed there, and there are other nights where it's sat out with tables and chairs and you watch the entertainment there. On next then, the pool area. Oh wow. If you are looking for somewhere to get away from it all and a quiet spot to relax and read a book, then probably the main pool area in late afternoon is not for you. Around 4 p.m. every day, the DJ cranks that volume right up and it is like a floating nightclub. I absolutely loved it. But I get that it may not be for everybody, but for me, whoa, absolutely amazing. Onto the bar tab then. So this worked out really cost effective for me and I got all of my drinks throughout the whole cruise. So instead of you buying a drinks package, which is priced at between $50 and $100 a day for most cruise lines I think at the moment, this was a prepaid bar tab. So I paid $300. There was a promotion on at the time where they gave me an extra $100. So I had $400 to spend on drinks throughout the cruise. And that was enough for me to get my morning coffees and all of my drinks throughout the cruise. Not forgetting that all the soft drinks are included within the cruise fare anyway. So yeah, really, really good. It may not work out cost effective for you, so check out the prices, what you would drink and what you would spend. But for me, yeah, I really recommend the way that was done. And last but not least, the staff. They were super friendly. Every time you walk past them, you get an ahoy. They couldn't do enough for you. And there's also as well the happenings team. So instead of the traditional cruise director on board, the happenings team all were in charge of the entertainment on board. And my God, what a talented bunch they were. Really, really great. So, to sum up then, that is my review of the cruise. I highly enjoyed the vast majority of it. There was one big thing that took away and two smaller things that kind of irked me a little bit, but the vast majority of this cruise I highly enjoyed. It is one of the very best cruises I've been on to date. So, the experience before the cruise didn't take away from my onboard experience. I really recommend it. So tell me, have you been on Valiant Lady? Are you planning to go on Valiant Lady? Do you have any questions, any comments? Do leave them below and let me know. Please do also consider subscribing to the channel to help me grow and bring new content. And if you enjoyed it, then please do give me a thumbs up. And until the next upload, thank you so much for watching, guys. Goodbye.